welcome to another video from the Linux Shed. This is going to be the first video of a series we're calling Switching from Windows to Linux Basics. So the first video we're going to do is which sort of distribution of Linux to pick and how to put it on a pen drive and how to install it on your computer. Bear in mind, if you do store it on a bare metal computer or a laptop that you're currently using, you could possibly lose data that's currently on there. So maybe run it in a virtual machine, or if you're not bothered about the data, then brilliant. So first thing I'm going to start with is picking the correct distribution for you. Now, if you're new to Linux, I would recommend going for going for Ubuntu or going for Linux Mint. Now, I'm going to show you how to install Ubuntu. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Ubuntu's website, ubuntu.com, click products, click Ubuntu desktop and download Ubuntu desktop. Click on that, save that somewhere safe on your computer, and after that we need to install a piece of software or download a piece of software that we can use to copy the ISO that we're downloading here onto a pen drive. So make sure you've got a pen drive that's at least 8 or 16 gig of RAM, and then we need to download a small program called Rufus. It's for creating bootable USB drives. So click on that, install that, and then once you've not install it, you just run it, you don't have to install it. Once you've got that, you should see a program like this. If I go to the next screen, so you will see this here. So your pen drive, the list of devices that the ISO can be copied to will be listed here. So if you've only got one pen drive plugged in, it'll just be the one. Click select ISO and then click on Ubuntu ISO that you've just downloaded. Now, this will be stored anywhere on the computer wherever you put it, probably your downloads folder, and it might not be called this. This is what I've named it. So you click on that, click open, and leave everything basic. Like I say, it's basic tutorial, so leave everything as standard and then click start. Now that'll take between 5 minutes and 20 depending on your computer. So once you click start, wait for that to finish and then click close once it's all done. Right, after you've done that, we need to then plug that into the computer you want to install Ubuntu on. Make sure your computer's off, plug it in, turn the computer on, and then tap F12 or F9 or F8 to try and get onto your boot menu when you first turn the computer on. Now I'm doing this on a virtual machine, so it'll look a bit different, but just to give you an idea of how it could look is like this. So once the virtual machine's loaded up, sorry, it takes a few seconds, you should see this screen here. Now, I didn't show you the boot menu then, so let me see if I can get to the boot menu just to give you an idea what the boot menu looks like. So if we reset the machine, and then you should see somewhere on your BIOS where it says press F12 or one of the F keys, and you should see this screen that pops up in a second. So after pressing F12 on my BIOS as such, you will see a list of devices here. You should have a USB drive in there. You click click down to that, click enter, and it should start loading the screen. So you should see this screen here. Once you're on this screen, click on try or install Ubuntu, and then wait a few minutes for it to load the CD. So I'll pause this video and come back to it once it's loaded the live CD. So after a few minutes, you should see a screen like this. Now this is the installer, but this is a little different to Windows. This is also a fully working version of Ubuntu. When I say fully, it's cut down, but you can actually play with the operating system before you even install it. So you can make sure things like your network card, your wireless card, your graphics card, you can make sure everything sort of works before you install it. So you can click on the menu here and you can see your dock bar. Click on show apps, you can see all the apps that you'd see if Ubuntu was installed. So you can have a play with that if you want to before you go ahead and install it. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and install it now. So select your language. Then Ubuntu has a really good accessibility as well. So if you're hearing or seeing or you can't type very well, then you've got options here, which is really good. I won't. That's not in the scope of this video, but you can have a play with that if you want to. Select your keyboard layout. Pretty much the same as Windows for the installer. It's just, I think it's a little bit fancier, and I think it's better that you have the option to play with the operating system as well. So I'm not going to connect to internet with this, because if I do, it'll take a lot longer, make the video a lot longer. But if you clicked on wired connection, click next, it will just download the any updates there is. I'll do that later on. So again, I'm going to skip the updates because of the for the length of the video more than anything. So we're going to install Ubuntu. Don't worry about it, you can still try it while it's installing. We're going to do an interactive install, and then we're going to go to extended selection, so you do get the Office tools, utilities, web browsers, everything you need for an operating system. We also want to install a third-party software, graphics cards, wireless hardware, the graphics drivers and the wireless drivers, things like that. And then we also want to download additional support for media formats, so we can play videos and things like that, just to make things a lot easier when you get into the operating system. So here's the part where you need to be careful. So if you're installing it on a computer you use day to day and you don't want to remove Windows, then I would suggest not doing this and looking into backing up your data for you before you do this. Otherwise, if it's a virtual machine or it's an old laptop, an old computer, you don't care what the data's on there. Easy, basic video again, like I said. So click on erase disk and install Ubuntu. We don't need to go into the advanced sections for this because it is just the basics. So enter your name, enter the name of the computer. Sorry, you can't do underscores. Your username and enter your password. And then keep everything the same and then click next. Select your time zone. And then this just gives you the summary. Click install, and now this will take from, on a virtual machine it's going to be a lot longer, but on your computer it'll take from 5 minutes to half an hour. So I'll pause the video right here and I'll come back to it once we've finished installing the operating system, because there's no more options. This will just go ahead and work on its own, and this is everything that's happening in the background. So I'll pause it there and we'll come back shortly. Right, that's just finished installing now. That took about 20 minutes on my virtual machine, but it should have been a lot quicker on your computer, depending on the spec of the machines. So we finished testing, so we'll hit restart now. Now it should ask you, unless you've done it already, to remove the installation media. So unplug the pen drive when it asks, and then press enter. You can do it beforehand if you want to. So I've removed the pen drive. Now Ubuntu now should boot for the first ever time. And we should take us straight to the login screen, ready to log into the desktop for the first time. Once we're logged in, the first thing I would do is update to the latest version. So I'd go into the updates, which we'll show you in the second video of this series. So once we're into the login screen, we'll stop the video there, and hopefully you'll be able to watch the second video that's already uploaded. So we can log straight in, just to show you it's all working. So once we're logged in, this is the screen we'll see, which is your desktop. I won't go over all the icons, I won't go over what's on the desktop. I'll do that in the episode 2 of this series. So I'll leave it there, and yeah, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to see the rest of the series, please subscribe with the subscribe button. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.